Welcome to Ed Zabala's demonstration showing how to grade in Civil 3D. As you know, in grading, one of the main objectives is to balance the site. One of the first steps is to select an elevation for the pad. Here in this particular example, we can see that in this surface, the existing surface, we start out at 250 feet elevation at the roadway and about 231 toward the back here in the railroad tracks. So it's kind of steep, and we're going to select, in our case, a consistent elevation for our pad, and then we're going to grade back, and then we're going to determine what the volume is, and keeping in mind that ultimately our objective would be to come close to pretty much balancing the site and exporting. Okay, here in this olive drab line, this olive drab line is actually called a feature line in Civil 3D. I want to assign this an initial elevation. Back in the old days, what you would do is you would select a contour or an elevation with a contour somewhat in the center of the proposed pad. In this case, I chose arbitrarily 239.5. So I'm going to assign every single vertex here 239.5. So this is the way I do it. After tagging it, there we go. It's at 239.5 basically. Okay? Very good. So now I'm going to do some grading. Alright. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. I'm gonna grade back at a 4:1 slope. It's a mild slope. If you need to mow the grass on 4:1 slope, it's definitely doable. That's why I chose it. So I'm gonna go ahead and grade back daylight at 4:1 on cut and fill. See what happens. Alright, so you can see the vertex of the proposed pad that we have at 239.5, and you can see where daylight's the existing surface. Alright, now a step that I don't want to forget is I want to infill the center of the site, because yes, that's part of my surface. Okay, very good. So how are we doing now in volumes? Okay, we know we selected a pad elevation. Is it close to balancing the site? Let's see. We're going to analyze volumes. Alright. Selecting the existing surface, selecting the comparison surface of the surface I had made. You can see here a value for the cut, a value for the fill, net, cut factor, and of course I want to add a fill factor because, as you know, when you fill, there's typically a shrinkage factor, right? In our case, we're going to assume 20%, so 1.20 should pretty much take into account the shrinkage factor. So you can see here that I have my cut, I have my fill, and it looks like I'm exporting 4,933 cubic yards. It's an export, which is okay. However, it's a lot of dirt still, right? So why don't we try shifting up the site a little bit? Maybe we can get some better values. We don't have to truck away so much dirt. So going back to our vertices here, okay, I'm going to adjust it. I want to bring it up just a little bit and see what happens, and see if I come close to balancing the site. Alright, you can see my feature line is tagged, the vertices are active. So what I want to do is I want to raise it up about 1.5 feet. That sound good? Alright, let's try that. 1.5 feet. I'm raising everything. Watch this as I raise it up. And also pay attention to this grading over here as I raise it up. Alright, this updated, and also this updated in real time. Pretty nice, huh? Okay, so how did we do when it came to our volumes? That's a good question. Did we come close to balancing it? Alright. Remember that number? 4,000? Let's recompute that. Okay, now we're at 1038. Good. We'll get closer, right? Let's try it. Going back to the grading, you can adjust this once again, and yes, it'll get you closer to what it is that you want. That concludes this demonstration here today.